Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're diving into a topic that's been generating a lot of buzz lately. Custom GPTs for marketing.
It's definitely a hot topic.
Yeah, and we're going to be using this really interesting guide called How to Create a Custom GPT to kind of break it all down.
Cool.
But we're specifically focusing on how marketers can actually use these powerful AI tools.
Yeah, I think that's where the real value is, getting beyond the hype and figuring out how to actually apply this stuff.
Exactly. So by the end of this deep dive, you'll have a much better understanding of whether a custom GPT could be a valuable asset for your marketing strategy. Sound good?
Sounds good to me.
All right, so the guide starts off by talking about, defining the GPT's purpose. Seems pretty basic, but I guess you have to start somewhere, right?
It's more than just basic, though. It's foundational. I mean, think of it this way. You wouldn't bring someone onto your marketing team without knowing what role they're going to fill, right?
True. You're not just going to hire someone and be like, figure it out.
Right. Exactly. It's the same with a custom GPT. You need to be clear about what you're trying to achieve with it. Do you want it to generate content?
Or like analyze customer feedback.
Yeah. Or conduct market research. Defining the purpose from the get-go helps you focus on building a GPT that's tailored to your specific needs and challenges.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So we've defined the purpose. Now what?
Now we get to the really exciting part.
Yes. Like seeing what these things can do.
Yeah, exactly. Seeing the potential.
So the guide lays out 8 different marketing use cases: content calendars, personalized emails, social media management, ad copy optimization. I mean, it's a pretty impressive list.
Yeah, and these aren't just like theoretical possibilities.
Right.
These are things that custom GPTs are already doing for marketers, in the real world. For instance, imagine being able to analyze thousands of customer reviews in a matter of minutes.
Okay, that's fast.
Right. A custom GPT can do that, pull out key themes and sentiment that might be completely missed with traditional methods.
So it's not just about speed, though, right?
Yeah.
There's got to be more to it.
Right. It's about uncovering those deeper insights that would be nearly impossible for a human to find just because of the sheer volume of data. A custom GPT can identify patterns and connections in data that might not be obvious at first glance. This gives you a much richer understanding of customer sentiment and helps you make those data-driven decisions.
That sounds incredibly valuable, especially as the amount of data we're dealing with just keeps growing exponentially.
It really is.
Okay, so how do we actually build one of these marketing marvels? Where do we even start?
Well, the guide walks us through the process. It starts with choosing a base model. It talks about GPT 3.5 and GPT 4.
Are those basically different levels of processing power?
They are.
Hmm.
Think of it like choosing the engine for your car. GPT 3.5 is a great starting point. It's very capable, especially if you're working with a limited budget.
Makes sense.
But if you need more advanced capabilities, like understanding complex language or generating more creative content formats, GPT-4 is going to be the way to go. It's got more horsepower, so to speak.
So if I want to write a novel, I'm going to need GPT-4.
Potentially, yeah.
And can you start with GPT 3.5 and upgrade later if you need to?
Absolutely. You can always scale up as your needs evolve.
Okay, so once you've chosen your base model, the next step is customizing the GPT's knowledge base. What does that even mean?
This is where we teach our GPT about marketing, essentially.
Oh, okay.
It's like giving it a crash course in everything marketing.
Okay, so like if I want a GPT that can help me write blog posts about, I don't know, sustainable fashion, I would feed it articles and reports about sustainable fashion.
That's the idea. The guide recommends using high-quality data sources like industry reports, marketing case studies, even your own internal data. And the more relevant and structured the data is, the better the GPT will perform. You're essentially creating a focused library of information that the GPT can draw on.
That makes sense. But I'm guessing it's not as simple as just dumping a bunch of files into the system, right?
You're right. Data cleaning and organization are absolutely crucial. Think of it like this. You wouldn't want to learn from a textbook that's full of errors and inconsistencies,
Yes,
right?
that would not be a good textbook.
The same goes for training a GPT.
Okay, so what does data cleaning actually look like in this context?
Well, for marketing data, it might involve removing duplicate entries, standardizing formats, making sure all sensitive information is anonymized. You're cleaning it up and making it pristine.
Oh,
The goal is to provide the GPT with a clean and consistent data set that it can easily learn from.
all right, so we've built our knowledge base. What's next? Do we just let it loose on the world?
Not so fast. We need to give our AI a voice first.
What do you mean by give it a voice?
Well, this is where we start thinking about personality. What kind of tone do we want our GPT to use? Should it be professional, playful, sarcastic, something else entirely.
So I guess it's kind of like defining a brand voice for the GPT.
Exactly. The guide talks about aligning the GPT's personality with the brand's voice.
Okay, so how do we actually define that voice?
It's a process of identifying the key attributes of your brand. Are you known for being innovative, approachable, trustworthy? These qualities need to be translated into very specific instructions for the GPT.
Okay, so I can't just say, like, be funny.
Right. You need to define what funny means for your brand. Is it sarcastic, witty, self-deprecating? You need to give the GPT clear guidelines and a framework to operate within.
Okay. And this is where something called prompt engineering comes in, right?
Yes, exactly. Prompt engineering is the art of crafting those effective prompts that really guide the GPT's output. You're essentially giving it instructions on how to respond, what tone to use, what kind of information to include. It's like writing a very specific creative brief for the GPT.
So the more specific and detailed I am with my prompts, the better the GPT will be able to understand my needs and deliver the results I'm looking for.
That's it. It's all about clarity and guidance.
Okay, this is starting to make a lot of sense. So we've defined the personality, we've started crafting prompts. Now what?
Now we move on to the training phase.
That's where the GPT actually starts learning, right?
It does, and it's an iterative process. You start by feeding the GPT small amounts of data, and you gradually increase the complexity as it improves. OpenAI provides tools for monitoring the GPT's performance and making adjustments along the way.
So it's kind of like coaching an athlete.
Mm.
You start with basic drills, and then you increase the intensity as they get better.
That's a great analogy. The key is to be patient and persistent. Training a GPT takes time and effort, but the results can be really rewarding.
And it's not just about training in isolation, right?
Yeah.
The guide emphasizes testing the GPT in real-world scenarios.
Absolutely. You need to see how the GPT performs when it's faced with actual marketing tasks. This is where you get feedback from your team and identify any areas where the GPT needs further refinement.
So it's not a set it and forget it kind of thing.
Definitely not. Continuous improvement is key. You need to regularly update the GPT's knowledge base with fresh data, refine your prompts based on what you're learning, and make adjustments based on feedback. The world of marketing is constantly changing, so your GPT needs to evolve with it.
Okay, all of this is starting to sound like custom GPTs really do have the potential to be powerful tools for marketers.
I think so too.
But I can also see how it could be a little overwhelming, especially for someone who's just getting started with all this.
It can be. It's a lot to take in. But the good news is there are resources available to help you navigate this new landscape. The guide even mentions pre-built GPT templates that can provide a starting point for common marketing tasks.
Templates. Tell me more about those.
Think of them like pre-trained GPTs that are designed for specific use cases. They're like blueprints that you can adapt to your specific needs. The guide includes templates for social media copywriting, market research, and content strategy, things like that.
Okay, so let's dive into those templates and see what they can do.
Sounds good to me.
First up, the social media copywriting template. This one's designed to help you create engaging social media posts for different platforms, complete with relevant hashtags and a tone that's aligned with your brand voice.
This template could be a real game changer for marketers who are struggling to keep up with the demands of social media. Imagine being able to generate a week's worth of social media posts in just a few minutes.
Okay, that would free up a lot of time for sure. So what kind of information do you need to provide to use this template?
Well, you'd need to specify the target platform, give some details about your brand voice, and then outline the key messages you want to convey.
So for example, I could say,
Mhm.
create a Twitter post about our new product launch, and our brand voice is, tech savvy and slightly humorous.
Exactly. And the GPT would take it from there. It would generate the post content, suggest relevant hashtags, and even explain how its choices align with your brand voice and Twitter best practices.
That's pretty cool. What about the other templates? What can the market research template do?
This template is all about using AI to gain a deeper understanding of your target audience and the competitive landscape. So it can analyze consumer trends, synthesize competitor information, and even help you create and interpret market research surveys.
Okay, so instead of me spending hours poring over industry reports and survey data, I could just ask the GPT to give me the key takeaways.
Essentially, yes. You could ask the GPT to analyze the current trends in, say, the sustainable fashion industry, and it would deliver a concise report with key insights, data visualizations, and even actionable recommendations.
This all sounds incredibly valuable for making data-driven decisions.
It is. But it's important to remember that the GPT is only as good as the data it's trained on. You still need to be critical of the information it provides and use your own judgment to interpret the results.
Okay, good point. So we've talked about social media, we've talked about market research. What about the content strategy template? What does that one do?
This template is designed for content marketers who want to create a more strategic, data-driven approach to content creation. So it can help you develop content calendars, suggest relevant topic clusters, and even optimize your content for search engines.
Okay, so if I'm struggling to come up with blog post ideas, I could ask the GPT to generate a content calendar based on my target audience and industry trends.
Exactly. You could say something like, create a 3-month content calendar for our B2B software blog. And the GPT would generate a calendar with topic ideas, published dates, and even suggest different content formats for you.
This is pretty incredible. It's like having a virtual marketing assistant at your fingertips.
It is a powerful tool. But just like with the other templates, it's important to remember that the GPT is just a tool. You still need to bring your own creativity and expertise to the table.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground so far, haven't
We
we?
have. We've talked about defining the purpose of a custom GPT, choosing the right base model, building that knowledge base, and even giving it a personality.
And then we explored 3 different GPT templates that can be used for social media marketing, market research, content strategy. Wow,
It's a lot to take in, but hopefully you're starting to see the potential of custom GPTs for marketing.
I definitely am.
But we still have a lot more to cover. In the next part of this deep dive, we'll take a closer look at some of those other fascinating templates and explore some of the ethical considerations that come with using AI in marketing.
Okay, sounds good to me. I'm ready to dive back in.
Welcome back. Last time we were just starting to get into those pre-built GPT templates.
Yeah, we left off on a pretty exciting note with all those content strategy possibilities, but we've got even more templates to discuss, right?
We do. If you're all about understanding your target audience even better, the guide introduces a customer persona development template.
Ooh, this sounds like it could be a game changer for personalized marketing. Tell me more.
It's all about leveraging AI to create those really detailed buyer personas, the kind that help you understand your audience's motivations and pain points and their goals.
So instead of just relying on basic demographics, this template can uncover deeper insights about my ideal customer.
Precisely. The GPT analyzes all kinds of customer data demographics, purchasing behavior, their website interactions, social media activity, and it extracts patterns and insights that might be completely missed by traditional methods.
Okay, walk me through a hypothetical scenario. Let's say I'm launching a new, like, premium subscription service. How could I use this template to create, like, a super targeted persona for that?
So let's say you give it the prompt. Create a buyer persona for our premium subscription service based on the provided customer data. The GPT can then analyze all the data you have on your existing customers who might fit the profile of a premium subscriber.
And it would spit out, like, a fully formed persona. What'd that even look like?
Think of it as a detailed profile. You would get insights into their demographics, age, location, occupation, but also their psychographics, their values, interests, lifestyle choices. You'd see their goals, challenges, what motivates them to make decisions.
Wow, that's a whole different level of understanding than just knowing their age and income bracket. How would this translate into actual marketing strategies?
It helps you personalize everything, so you can craft messaging that really resonates with their specific needs and aspirations. You can target your advertising campaigns based on their interests and online behavior.
So instead of sending out these generic marketing blasts, I could tailor my communication to each individual persona.
Exactly. The more you understand your audience, the more effective your marketing will be. This template helps you get to that deep understanding.
Okay, I can already see how this could boost conversions and customer loyalty. Okay, what else do we have on this list of templates? My brain is buzzing with possibilities.
Next up, the email marketing automation template.
Email marketing, a classic. I'm guessing this template helps me create more targeted and effective email campaigns.
You got it. It takes the guesswork out of segmenting your audience, crafting those compelling subject lines, and personalizing the email content.
Sounds like it could save me tons of time and improve my email open and click-through rates. But what makes this different from all the other email marketing tools I might already be using?
It goes beyond just automation. The GPT can actually analyze your past email performance data along with your customer data to create these highly targeted campaigns. It can even suggest the best times to send emails based on your audience's behavior patterns.
So it's not just about automating the sending process, it's about making the entire email strategy smarter and more effective.
Right. Think of it as having a data-driven email marketing expert working right alongside you.
Okay, paint me a picture. Let's say I'm launching a new product and I want to announce it to my email subscribers. How would this template help?
You'd tell the GPT your goal, announcing the new product, and the tone you want to use. Then you could provide information about the product itself, like the key features and benefits.
And the GPT would just take it from there.
Yep. It would craft different email variations based on your customer segments. So it would personalize the subject lines and the content to resonate with each group's interests. It could even A/B test different subject lines and email layouts to optimize for the highest engagement.
Wow, that takes all the heavy lifting out of email segmentation and optimization. I'm starting to understand why these templates are so powerful.
They're really designed to make those marketing tasks more efficient and more effective, allowing you to focus on the strategic aspects of your campaigns.
Okay, I'm ready for the next template. What else we got?
This one's particularly interesting. It's the paid advertising optimization template.
Paid ads, huh? Those can be a tricky beast to tame. I'm always tweaking and adjusting my campaigns to try to get the best ROI.
This template could be a real game changer for your paid advertising strategy. It analyzes your historical campaign data, it identifies patterns, and makes data-driven recommendations to optimize your ad spend and improve your conversion rates.
So it's like having an AI algorithm constantly analyzing my campaigns and telling me what to tweak.
Exactly. It can suggest things like adjusting your bidding strategy, refining your target audience, optimizing your ad copy, all kinds of things.
Okay, let's say I'm running a Google Ads campaign for my online store. How would this template help me get more bang for my buck?
Well, it could analyze your existing campaign data and identify which keywords are performing well and which ones are wasting your budget. It could suggest new keywords to target based on your product offerings and your competitors' strategies. It could even analyze your landing pages and suggest improvements to increase your conversion rates.
So instead of just guessing at what might work, I'd have data-backed recommendations to guide my decisions.
Precisely. This template takes the guesswork out of paid advertising and allows you to make smarter, more strategic decisions about where to invest your ad dollars.
I can see how this would be a huge time saver and potentially even a money saver. Are there any other templates we need to discuss?
There's one more we haven't touched on yet, the landing page optimization template.
Ah, landing pages. The gateway to conversions. I'm always looking for ways to improve mine.
This template is all about using AI to create landing pages that actually convert visitors into customers.
Okay, tell me everything. What can it do?
It analyzes your existing landing page data, things like your bounce rates, time on page, conversion rates, and identifies areas for improvement.
So it can tell me what's working and what's not.
Yes. It can also analyze your target audience and suggest ways to personalize the landing page content and design to resonate with their needs and interests.
So it's not just about tweaking the layout and the headlines. It's about understanding the psychology of my audience and creating an experience that compels them to take action.
That's right. This template helps you go beyond the basics of landing page design and create landing pages that are truly optimized for conversions.
Wow, we've covered a lot of templates.
We have, but I think it's important to emphasize that these templates are just a starting point.
What do you mean?
Well, they provide a foundation that you can build upon. You'll still need to customize the templates to fit your specific brand and target audience and your marketing goals.
So it's not about blindly following the template suggestions. I need to use my own judgment and expertise to guide the process.
Exactly. These templates are tools that can help you streamline your marketing efforts and make more informed decisions, but they're not a replacement for your own knowledge and experience.
That's a really important point. I think it's easy to get caught up in the excitement of all this new technology and forget that we still need to be the ones driving the strategy.
Absolutely. AI can augment our abilities, but it can't replace the human element of marketing. You know, the creativity, the empathy, that understanding of our customers.
This has been an incredible overview of the potential of custom GPTs for marketers. I'm feeling inspired to explore these templates and see how they can help me level up my marketing game.
I'm glad to hear that. But before you dive into building your own GPT, we need to talk about some important considerations. Well, in the next part of our deep dive, we'll discuss the process of actually building and training your custom GPT in more detail. We'll also talk about the importance of data privacy and security, and we'll touch on the evolving landscape of AI regulations.
Sounds like we're about to get into the nitty-gritty details. I'm ready.
Okay.
All right, so we've explored all these amazing templates, and I don't know about you, but I'm definitely seeing the potential here. But where do I actually go from here? How do I start building my own custom GPT for marketing?
Well, you've already laid some really great groundwork by understanding the why, like we talked about, defining the purpose of your GPT. The next step is choosing the right platform for actually building and training your AI.
The guide mentions OpenAI a lot. Is that like the only option out there?
OpenAI is definitely a popular choice. It's
Hmm.
powerful, especially for beginners, I think. Their platform is pretty user-friendly. They offer a lot of tools and resources. But there are other platforms emerging as well. Each one has its own strengths and limitations.
So how do I know which platform is the right one for me?
It really depends on your specific needs, I think, and your technical expertise. Some platforms are very code heavy, while others offer like a more visual drag and drop interface. Some are better suited for certain types of tasks or industries. It's worth doing some research and comparing different platforms before you commit to one.
Okay, let's assume I've chosen a platform. What's next?
The real work begins with gathering and preparing your data. And remember, the quality of your data is absolutely crucial for training an effective GPT. Garbage in, garbage out, as they say.
Right, we talked about data cleaning earlier, right? Making sure it's accurate and well organized.
Exactly. But there's more to it than just cleaning. You need to think strategically about what data is going to be the most valuable for your GPT to learn from.
Can you give me an example? Like, let's say I'm building a GPT to help me write social media posts for my sustainable fashion brand.
hmm
What kind of data should I be gathering?
So in that case, you'll want data that reflects your brand voice and your target audience. This could include your existing social media posts, blog articles, customer reviews, even competitor analysis. You might also want to gather some data on industry trends, popular hashtags, and successful social media campaigns in the sustainable fashion space.
So I'm essentially curating a library of information that's relevant to my specific goals.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. The more relevant and diverse your data is, the better equipped your GPT will be to generate that high-quality output you're looking for.
Okay, so I've gathered all my data, cleaned it up, organized it nicely. Now what? It's time to actually feed it to the GPT,
You
right?
got it. This is where the training process begins. And most platforms provide tools for uploading and formatting your data so that the GPT can understand it.
How long does this training process usually take?
It depends on the size and complexity of your data set, as well as the processing power of the platform you're using. It could take anywhere from a few hours to a few days.
So not exactly instant gratification.
Not quite. But the good news is that you can often monitor the training progress and make adjustments along the way. Most platforms provide metrics that allow you to see how well the GPT is learning and identify any areas where it might be struggling.
So it's kind of an iterative process. I can, like, tweak things as I go.
Exactly. Training a GPT isn't a one-and-done deal. It's an ongoing process of refinement and optimization.
Okay, let's say my GPT has been trained, it's ready to go, now what?
Now comes the fun part, testing and experimenting.
So I start giving it prompts and just seeing what it comes up with.
Yeah, this is where you really get to see your GPT in action and evaluate how well it's performing. Start by giving it some simple prompts related to your marketing goals. For example, if you're building a GPT to write social media captions, you might give it a prompt like, write a Twitter post announcing our new spring collection.
And I just kind of see what it spits out and go from there.
Exactly. Pay attention to the quality of the output, the tone, how relevant it is to your brand, the overall effectiveness. You'll likely need to make some adjustments to your prompts, refine your data, maybe even tweak the GPT settings a little to get the results you're looking for.
Sounds like a lot of trial and error.
It can be, but it's also a process of discovery. The more you experiment with your GPT, the better you'll understand its capabilities and its limitations.
It sounds like there's a bit of an art to this.
Hmm.
Finding the right prompts, fine-tuning the settings to get that, like, really amazing output.
There is. It's like learning a new instrument. It
Mm.
takes practice and patience to master.
Well, this has been an incredibly insightful deep dive.
Yeah.
Feeling a lot more confident about exploring the world of custom GPTs for marketing.
I'm glad to hear that. And remember, the key is to start with a clear purpose, choose the right platform, gather that high-quality data, and then be willing to experiment and iterate.
And remember that it's a journey, not a destination.
Exactly. The world of AI is constantly evolving, and the possibilities for marketers are pretty much endless. So keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
That's a great note to end on. Thanks for guiding me through this deep dive. It's been really eye-opening. And for everyone listening out there, we hope you've learned something new today and you're feeling inspired to explore the amazing potential of custom GPTs for your own marketing strategies. Until next time, keep diving deep.